Alright, Bruchim Abayim, welcome everyone. I was trying to record this earlier. I know I recorded 10 minutes, which I did post already. But I'm not exactly sure where that ended. I could have checked, but that would have just taken more time. I just wanted to get back into making this video, but our dear friend, Dr. Green, he asked for his birthday if he could sponsor a shir explaining the importance of studying Kabbalah and by extension Chassidus and Mussar. And I felt, the thing that struck me is the Gemara in Bava Basra, Kflamed Daled, an Aleph, that says there's a Davar Gadol and Davar Katan. So what's Davar Katan, what's Davar Gadol? What's a small thing, what's a big thing? So Davar Katan is Havaya Shel Havaya V'Rava. The small thing are the conversations of Havaya and Rava, and the big thing is Ma'aser Merkava. And is this place open? Maybe I get something to eat? No, doesn't look like it. So, if that's the case, it shows the that statement by itself demonstrates the importance of the study of Kabbalah. With that being said, it reminded me that the Rambam quotes this Gemara, and so therefore that's why I wanted to look at this Rambam. I'm assuming we got through this already, but we'll go through it. We'll make Chazara, and then we'll get to really the point I want to make. Kol Dvorim. I only have 10 minutes till I get home, so I've got to hurry up. Kol Dvorim. I'll try to make another video, Mir Hashem, tomorrow, though, because I owe it, because it's dedication. But I wanted to get something out there, just in case Chas v'Shalom I forget. But we'll go through this Mir Hashem as much as we can. Kol Dvorim ha'elu shedibarnu binyan zeh. So kamar midlihem udvorim amukim heim. So the Rambam, this is the fourth chapter, halfway through the fourth chapter of Hilchos Yesodei Torah, which is the laws of the foundations of the Torah. And it said everything that's here is like just a drop in the bucket. From amukim heim, they're deep things. But they're not as deep as the first and the second chapters. So everything, all of these words, they're in the third and fourth chapter, meaning what the Rambam just spoke about, is called Ma'aser V'Reishis, the work of creation. Yet the Rambam put it here, right? So he's saying that you don't darshan on these things publicly, but rather, one person, you tell him what they're about and you teach them. So let's go weiter. What's the difference between what's called Ma'aser Merkava, the work of the chariot, which seems to be the first chapter of Ezekiel, Ma'aser Bereshis, the work of creation, the first chapter of Genesis, essentially, but the deeper meaning behind both of these chapters. When it comes to the concept, which is called the work of the chariot, even to one person, you don't make a discourse on it, unless he is wise and understanding on his own knowledge. You give over to him the chapter headings. And I'll be honest with you, even though I don't know if I properly received them, but I know they've been given to me. I know who gave them to me, as far as that's concerned. But I remember when I was discussing this with Tzaddik who gave this over to me, I told him I'm not roy for this, I'm not worthy for this, and he said none of us are worthy for it. But he said if you're a Rav, you need to know this. This is part of what you need to know in Rabbanis. Before I entered into that, and I still don't feel like I'm living up to. I know I'm not living up to. But nonetheless, let's. But I can say the Rashi Prakim were given to me, but I don't know if I received them properly. But I might have, right? Indian Ma'aser Bereishis Mlam Denois Liyachad Afal Pisha Einam Even Oisa Midaita Median Oisa Kol Mashiachol Later Midvar Melu. So when it comes to Ma'aser Bereishis, you can say the whole thing over. Whereas when it comes to Ma'aser Merkava, it's something you have to chap. It's something. We'll try to explain that maybe in a future video. Let's just first get through this text. And I don't mean to be tooting my own horn, because I'm not. And the Rav who said this, he said it's not for everyone to discuss. But on the other hand, he did tell me, because at the time I was a Rav of a shul, he said if you're a Rav of a shul, you need to know this. This is part of what you need. Interestingly, after that, kind of the whole Rabbanis fell apart. So it's all been a Shemayim, but that's neither here nor there. Why don't you teach these things publicly? Because not everyone is able to really understand it. And not only that, but they'll misunderstand it. That's really the big danger, is that the things can be misunderstood and lead to heresy and antinomianism, which has happened. That's what we were warned about. Meaning, the Sabbateans and the Frankists, they took the outer shell of these words and use them to create a very evil cult. That the truth of the matter is, all the other evil cults subsequently were like offshoots of the Sabbateans and the Frankists. And not only that, but many of the very famous Jewish secularists were from Sabbatean and Frankist school families. Particularly Louis Brandeis was one of the more famous Frankist families. So, the impact that the antinomian liberals have had is very, very dangerous in the world. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of things that people say, like conspiracy theories, they don't apply to all Jews, but and not even all liberal Jews, but and I think a lot of them don't even know where these things come from among themselves. But the roots and the sources come from Sabbatean and Frankist families and their traditions and things. So this is what I really want to bring out. At the time when the person meditates on these things, and it's not even the full thing, the main thing that I want to bring out, he recognizes all the creatures, with the angel and the galaxies, and human beings, everything like that. And he sees the wisdom of God in all the forms and all the creatures. This increases our love for God. That's Chassidus, right? That by studying Chassidish Sfarim, and Kabbalistic Sfarim, what we call Sifrei Cheshek and Divrei Mussar that are rooted in Kabbalah, it increases our love for God. V'sitzma nafshay, his soul thirsts, v'yichma b'sarai, and the flesh longs, le'av ha'makam baruch hu, to love God. But then here's the Mussar part. So the first part is like the Chassidus part. The second part is the Mussar part. Is that it fills a person with fear and awe and trepidation and shame when he compares himself to these big, holy angels. Whatever they are, even things that have no type of form or shape at all. And he finds himself like a vessel, like we say in the Yom Kippur Vidoy, that's like a container filled with shame and embarrassment, empty and missing. That's the Mussar part of it. So these are the two parts. This is how one gains a Havan Yira. So that is the first part of what I want to talk about, but we want to talk a little bit more. So we'll Mirza Hashem, try to do some more maybe tomorrow. And it's all the same dedication. We don't need anything extra. This is my birthday present. Especially you turn 40. They say that 40 is when you come to Kabbalah. So even though it's not really true, you could start learning Kabbalah 20 and even younger in a certain sense. But we'll we'll recognize it. I'm not 40 yet, almost. All right. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later.